mage and warlock. So
Oh man,
I believe he's the only mage in the
I
event.
think he's the only hunter too, right?
Oh, that's true.
He
Actually,
might
that
be the
might be
only
true
hunter
too.
too.
All right, so
Yeah.
we were saying that Alchemist can play anything, and I think he's showing he can.
All right, so it looks like we have Zoo versus Control Warrior, and oh man, that Control
That's
Warrior hand is basically perfect for fighting against Zoo. Although Forsen doesn't actually know that Alchemist is playing Zoo, he could be playing Handlock.
yeah.
But
Handlock's been more popular these days too. So if anything, I think he's probably predicting Handlock
well, if he's
in
been
general.
following Alchemist, then he might be assuming that he's playing against Zoo. He could
Maybe.
also kind of hedge his bets a little bit and keep an axe and the knight, but uh,
You
yeah,
think?
I would have probably kept the cleave as well.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
So
even good against handlock if they somehow get a watcher and then a bird out. You cleave and then war axe
mhm,
the 4/5.
that's true. Okay, so the leper gnome's pretty much going to be telling as to what type of warlock it is. I don't think there's any handlock that actually runs a leper gnome, but Forsen actually draws something really great there with the Taskmaster.
Yeah, that's actually the optimal response. You get something on the board and you clear out your opponent's board all at the same time and for the cost of 2 mana.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Okay, so two. Okay, this mana two turn is a little bit odd here. He could either tap here, maybe draw a card that might set up a future turn better. But typically, for
yeah,
a zoo deck, you do want to get off to a fast start.
yeah, he kind of had just a really awkward situation where if he plays the flame imp, then it just trades with the taskmaster, and
Yeah.
now the taskmaster just got 2 for 1. But if he doesn't play the flame imp, then he's giving control of the board over to Forsen, and this is, I mean, the power of Zoo is well known at this point. It's
Yeah.
very durable and it puts a lot of pressure and a lot of minions on the board. But I mean, Alchemist has to be feeling really, really bad about his chances right now.
Yeah, so he's got 4 mana here, and he's trying to decide what's the best play. I think he wants to play multiple. I think he wants to play multiple units here, but it's going to be pretty tough to do that and not lose something really inefficiently. Let's
Yeah,
see.
and Forsen's got a big old smile on his face. He knows that right now he's in the driver's seat, so
Yeah.
I can't really blame him.
Wow. Okay, so he's going to play a wolf first here. Maybe give it 2 targets. Yeah, like a knife juggler
Yeah,
and a wolf. Yeah, I think that's a smart play by him.
and that was a correct play. On average, if he does it the other way around, then he's basically going to only help his opponent by giving him an armor because those minions are just going to trade for the most part anyways. So
hmm
very good ordering by Forsen.
All right, so he still has another swing from his axe, and sometimes when you're playing Zoo, you really have to be careful of your life total, and the weapons can be good and bad in that way, right? Because you can remove the minions, but at the same time, you're really hurting yourself at the same, you're hurting yourself at the same time, right? So what do you think is the best move here?
He's got a lot of options actually. Like he can charge the 2/2 into the 4/2 and then kill the wolf with the axe.
hmm
And then he could even Taskmaster the Armorsmith, hit for 3 and armor up. And that's probably what I would do. His other option is actually to Whirlwind and then trade off the Armorsmith with a minion. Or he could Whirlwind and Task and finish off the other minion as well.
Yeah.
And, well, it looks like he went with Whirlwind Taskmaster. And, he's basically you have to maintain your board and clear stuff as efficiently as possible, and he definitely cleared very efficiently there.
He cleared efficiently, and he still has the Baron Geddon in his deck too. So, in
Yeah,
some ways, he does
in his
have.
hand, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, in his hand, and he's going to be able to at least, might have a stopper there at turn 7 too. But it looks like he's going to faceless the 4/3 imp. I think that's a really good play there, getting a taunt there, forcing forcing Alchemist to have to deal with that card immediately. If
I don't know about trading both there.
mm,
The 2/3 doesn't do a whole lot. I guess
oh, wow.
like if Alchemist had Soulfire, then it wouldn't have been. It would have been kind of the same, but he did just randomly miss out on a little bit of damage.
Okay, so the Black Knight's going to get some great value there. Really, really great draw there from Alchemist, and removes the 4/3 and forces Forsen to go to remove that with the Shield Slam. Not again, not too many targets for usually in a Zoo deck for a really big Shield Slam. So good value.
Yeah. And Dark Iron Dwarf and the Young Priestess are going to repopulate Alchemist's board. Forsen's been in control for almost the entire game, but again, that power of Zoo is.
All right, so Baron Geddon's going to go down.
Bit.
Yeah, Baron Geddon's going to go down, and sometimes you get caught up just constantly removing the minions, when you're playing Zoo, and that's how it works, right? You're constantly removing the beginning, and then it kind of swings eventually when you get your bigger units on the board established. But I don't know. Forsen's not really quite there yet with that type of situation, and I kind of feel the Zoo deck starting to take hold here.
Yeah, I mean, Geddon's out, one Whirlwind is out. We don't know if Alchemist runs Brawl or not, but this board or Forsen runs Brawl anyways, but this board for Alchemist is really scary, and Forsen doesn't really have a good answer.
Yeah, he's going to have to play the YOLO Rag here.
Power guys.
He's playing YOLO Rag, and he gets rid of the Dwarf, so he does roll pretty decently. Like you said, got rid of one of the 4 power guys there. And what are you thinking, man? What do you think Forsen's going to need to happen here to
I mean, just drop your hand, kill Rag. He's going to need some way to clear out the board, either Azer Drake into the second Whirlwind or some kind of cleave play. Both of those would be fairly good for him. But right now, yeah, Alchemist is just very slowly crept back into the driver's seat.
Okay,
although he does have to be a little bit careful with his life total. He's at 13. That Flame Imp does put him into Grom Whirlwind range, so he has to be kind of cautious of that as well.
Alright, so he's going to go ahead and power Overwhelming the Imp, and he's going to trade 2 units for that. Okay, so he prefers to keep the stronger units on the just on the board, just keep them, and going to put down the Flame Imp 2 here.
Alright, so he's not super afraid of Grom Whirlwind yet, I suppose.
Yeah.
This play makes him a lot less vulnerable to Whirlwind, which is actually very, very good for him. Although, it does make him a little bit more vulnerable to cleave. But,
yeah,
of course, Forsen has to draw these things for it to matter.
I think there's been a couple plays in the past too where if he would have had cleave, just holding cleave, he would have played it already. So he's just counting that he's not going to be top decking cleave here.
Yeah, and it's actually doubly smart because not all warriors are playing cleave, but almost all warriors are playing double Whirlwind. So playing around Whirlwind is the second Whirlwind is actually a smarter play than playing around a potential cleave.
Okay, so Forsen ends up shield blocking. He wants to dig for something. He ends up getting a shield slam, which is great. It's going to remove one of the minions on the board here, and then he can actually swing for the face.
Yeah, that's very smart.
Really, really close to lethal here.
Zoo has a very limited potential for damage off of kind of an empty hand and life tap. So hitting him for 3 there puts him within range of his Gorehowl next turn.
All right, so he draws a Doomguard and an Argent. No, and a Sergeant, Abusive Sergeant there, and
Forsen, was in control this whole game, and he's gonna take it with that Gorehowl. But
yep, Gorehowl's gonna finish him, and
much closer than he might have thought.
Definitely, yeah, like you said, he started off really, really quickly, and that's the Zoo. Zoo always has that explosive ability, that card drawing mechanic from